For a kid, the world is just naturally rich with opportunities. Every day is full of new choices, options, and hopes for the future. All of them as real as a summer day. For a kid, everything is possible. But what happens to a kid when those choices get lost? When the options disappear? When the next meal or even the next day is in doubt? When hope in the future fades? Back in 1980, several commodity traders decided that kids without hope was not an option, and they founded a new organization, one dedicated entirely to children in need, where people in the futures industry could help in ways that could make a real difference in a kid's life. That was the beginning of Futures and Options for Kids, the official charitable organization of New York's original futures exchange, the New York Board of Trade.
One of our founders that year, Pete Toomey, his wife had been to her local church the weekend before and came back with the story of Covenant House. He had come into work in the next week or so, made a very good score that day. We got in the subway and went uptown to Covenant House and walked in and handed him a check for $30,000. 4 or 5, 6 months later, they had got in touch with him and told him the story about how they had just lost a significant check for the same amount. So this was a gift from heavens. Pete and a few other founders took this as a lesson and started raising money on the floor, and we've gone from there. We've grown from there to have given out in the last 25 or 26 years over $10 million to the children of the metropolitan area.
Today, NYBOT's Futures and Options for Kids provides critical funding to projects and programs that make the lives of children safer, healthier, and richer in possibilities. Each year, Futures and Options for Kids raises hundreds of thousands of dollars, and 100% of every dollar raised goes directly to agencies serving children in need. The NYBOT charitable organization gives crucial aid to all kinds of agencies, large and small, that help children who need health, educational, and other basic services. Agencies that are rich in ideas, expertise, and dedication, but simply need dollars to make it happen. Like Special People United to Ride in Lincroft, New Jersey, who use horseback riding and the special relationship between an animal and a child to achieve dramatic therapeutic results for kids with nerve disorders. These are organizations in your neighborhoods, not a world away, because Futures and Options for Kids focuses on children and service agencies in the tri-state area. Imagine meeting a great little girl like Taylor at the Children's Specialized Hospital in Mountainside, New Jersey. She desperately needs specialized medical care. Could you say, "No, we can't help you, Taylor, we don't have the money"? Futures and Options for Kids funds programs to make sure the help is there when a child needs it. Imagine a child like Anna, who would remain confined in a world of silence were it not for the special computer and dedicated teacher that your dollars supplied at the Hagedorn Little Village School in Seaford, New York. Imagine your child has developmental disabilities, like Carlo, who only needs a special swing or a clown's smile to brighten his day. Our grant recipient, the Richmond Children's Center in Yonkers, New York, provides for dozens of kids with special needs and their families with vital respite care.
For 6 years, we never took a vacation together.
Children and their families keep looking to us every day for help. And Futures and Options for Kids wants to make sure that help is there when it's needed. You can change the lives of these kids. The math is simple. The more dollars we can raise, the more kids we can help. Agencies and organizations throughout the tri-state area can apply directly to Futures and Options for Kids for funding specific programs. The application requirements are simple and straightforward. Children's service agencies can request an annual grant application form just by calling 212-748-4146. Information about the organization can be found on our website. The people who trade commodities work in an industry that deals with high-stakes risks every day. They buy and sell futures and options for some of the world's most familiar and important commodities. But right here in our own neighborhoods, there are lots of kids who live with even higher risks. Kids who need help, With your help, Futures and Options for Kids can expand funding to reach even more children.
One of the things that everybody seems to believe is that commodity traders are heartless, cruel, cutthroat, and they sort of are, during trading hours.